Okay, let's get into this. So the source material we're diving into today kicks off with this really vivid image, right? A teenager sees this amazing car, a Lamborghini Countach, and there's this young guy getting out.
Yeah, and for the author, that wasn't just like, oh, cool car. He calls it an ignition of consciousness.
Ignition of consciousness.
Wow. It basically sparked this whole idea in him that, building serious wealth doesn't have to take 50 years of just grinding away at a job, pinching pennies, and hoping the stock market behaves.
It immediately sets up this contrast.
Yeah.
Because the author's own story, as he tells it, is pretty different.
Very different. He says he made his first million by 31, retired at 37. Now he lives this life, financially free, earns thousands every month without really working in the traditional sense.
Able to travel, buy what he wants.
Exactly. And he frames this directly against that conventional get-rich-slow advice. He argues that path would have just kept his dreams, on life support, basically, tied to an alarm clock.
So our mission here for this deep dive is to really take this source material, which, let's be honest, challenges a lot of the financial advice you normally hear.
Definitely.
And break it down. Understand these different roads to wealth he describes. We want to pull out the key takeaways, the really crucial bits of knowledge from the source for you, the listener.
And, this whole framework might really hit home if you've ever felt like, is this it? There's got to be more. Or if you have these big dreams, but your current job or path just doesn't seem like it's going to get you there.
Yeah, maybe you went to college, got a decent job, but you don't love it. Maybe you've got student loans or other debt. You're putting money in a 401k.
And you just wonder, how do people really get wealthy? Or maybe you've tried traditional investing and it hasn't quite worked out the way you hoped.
Right. So, just to be clear, we're presenting the ideas from the source for informational purposes. But if any of that resonates, this deep dive should be really interesting for you.
Absolutely. The core concept he lays out right at the start is these 3 financial roadmaps: the sidewalk, the slow lane, and the fast lane.
Okay. And each one has its own kind of underlying math.
Yeah.
A wealth equation.
Exactly. And each one, he argues, leads to a totally different destination financially. The whole book is pretty much built around exploring these paths.
And he doesn't mince words about it, does he?
Not at all. He calls get rich slow a fraud, basically. Says recessions expose it.
A fraud. Why?
He argues it's a losing game because it makes you dependent on Wall Street, which you can't control. And critically, it's all tied to time, your time.
Training your best years, essentially.
Yeah, sacrificing your youth, your energy for this potential payoff decades later that isn't even guaranteed. He's saying, look, there's another way, but you have to be willing to ditch society's default map.
Okay, so let's start with the first path he maps out, the sidewalk. What does that look like, according to him?
The sidewalk is, it's all about immediate gratification. It's kind of selfish, financially irresponsible. You're living right on the edge, financially speaking, always near the cliff.
And what are the signs someone might be on this path?
He points to things like maybe not earning much, but spending like you do, being really dependent on others, maybe the government, your boss, family bailouts.
And blaming others when things go wrong.
That's a big one, yeah. Job loss, car breaks down, no insurance. It's always someone else's fault, not a result of poor planning.
He's pretty blunt about where this leads.
Oh, incredibly blunt. He says this road pulls you towards being poor. That focus on the pleasant present just mortgages your future.
And relying on luck lottery, casinos, that's not a plan.
Definitely not. He explicitly calls that out, hoping for an inheritance, government help. None of that is a real financial strategy in his view.
Yeah.
He even says starkly that living on the sidewalk can literally end with you on the sidewalk.
Wow. Okay, so the first step off this path.
Just recognizing it, seeing if that description fits, even partially, and then making a conscious choice to find a different framework, one that actually builds something.